So, there's been the ever eternal 1980s, I guess, click battle of jocks versus nerds. Nerd! Always playing Dungeons and Dragons and watching what going on computers and stuff. Lo and behold, I'm using a computer to record this while jocks are, some are meatheads, not all. Revenge of the Nerds, 1984. A frat boy comedy that started it all. Anthony Edwards, TV's ER, and Robert Carradine star in this hilarious comedy classic that pushed a group of losers to the edge and turned them into legends, packed with all new, never-before-seen special features, including on-camera interviews with the nerds, feature-length commentary, and exclusive rare TV pilot. Revenge of the Nerds has finally gotten the respect it deserves. At Adams College, the jocks rule the school from their house on high, the Alpha Beta fraternity. So when a group of socially challenged misfits try to go Greek, they're instantly rejected by every house on campus, deciding to start their own themselves in a battle royale as the Alpha Betas try to crush their new rivals. But in this game of brains versus brawn, the nerds devise a perfect plan to gain the upper hand and their rightful place at the top of the social ladder. Now, one movie that comes to mind is, of course, Animal House. I have seen Animal House a long while ago. Review coming within time, by the way. And it is indeed a classic. But what would be considered a worthy follow-up? This one. This one right here, because it maintains the original spirit, but it has its own identity. It's also a little interesting, just the humor, because it's like, okay, one, let's get things from the nerd perspective. So let's get some people dressed in khakis and button-down, like, plaid shirts or whatever, okay? Let's have them sit in the front with their dad. One guy's in the middle and then guy's in the passenger seat, and they have a giant, I don't know, some type of object, like a desk or something like that, and they have to transfer this desk. They transport, all the while causing an accidents and stuff like that. You know, it's like person falls off a bike, they go through some water, and it's just funny mayhem ensues, and it's just little weird humor in the beginning. That will give you the sense of the type of movie that this is. This movie, like I said, it's from the nerds' perspective, and of course, we're going to hear about, like, the computer scene. We're going to see them talk about computers and them going against the jocks. And in this movie, and here, what works it well is that the nerds are treated with respect. It's like, well, a nerd isn't exactly a looking like right here, but at the same time, kind of, I would say. And then again, a nerd doesn't exactly have to be that. It can be one who's dedicated in their hobbies to a degree that goes against what is the standard, like, jock in, I guess, 1980s jock interest of football. And this movie plays it up pretty well, you know, like getting revenge, but smartly. Instead of like saying, hey, if we were to retaliate, we'd just be lowering ourselves to their level. So instead, let's put, like, what was that? Not canned heat, but some type of, like, irritant in their jock straps, and that way they all just run away, because they all have to go into the showers. And and of course, John Goodman is the stereotypical coach. He's like saying, thank you guys. Oh wait, we didn't practice at all today. Just that scene alone is so great. And yeah, of course, you know, it's kind of got a sense of what's the word I'm looking for? Weirdness / kind of cult classic-ish, but at the same time, that's what this movie is. It's like a cult classic in the right way, because this movie is indeed made with effort. Because it takes the concept, but it complements the nerd lifestyle of computers, like saying, hey, there are people who work with their hands, and they said that's great and all, but sometimes with a computer it makes you work with your mind. So it gets into the ethos, ethos, of what a nerd is. And I guess that for back then, there was ones that really didn't fit into the kind of category of what like what was seen as more what's the word, attractive to certain people. So instead, it's like, yeah, I mean, they do have a panty raid though, and I'm like, so you have a panty raid for some the females, and I'm like, okay, I guess that is kind of paying homage to the I guess 1950s movies. There's indeed a rather infamous scene where they managed to install some cameras, and they install cameras, and of course we get some titillation, we get some TNA, and I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, I watched this like maybe a decade, like 11, like maybe what, 14 years ago. I'm looking, I'm like, I completely forgot about this, and I'm like, you kind of have to have it, and it's like, it's what you expect, it's like, yeah, let's get the camera moving, hey, pan down there. Of course, there's this one gross guy named Booger. He says, why do they call you Booger? I don't know, as he's picking his nose. He's like the most perverse one of the group, and it's kind of just interesting to see. Let's see, there's this one Japanese person named Takeshi, who's unaware of the regular American customs. So it's like he gets, just like when he gets winning hands in cars multiple times, Booger, who's going with him, kind of says, hey, it's like, yeah, that's not, it's like, yeah, I'm going to replace these cars with that were kings with sevens, and when they're trying to find like homes and stuff like that, houses to live in, because the schmuck jocks were living in their because their homes burned down because they were being idiots. They moved into the nerds fraternity house, and they got kicked out. So Takeshi goes to another Japanese guy. He says, they speak in Japanese at the end. He said, and the one who he wanted to live with says, nerd. So that was kind of funny. Yeah, it's and this movie was like the beginning for Anthony Edwards and Robert Carradine of the Carradine family. Yes, that includes David of Kill Bill fame. So it's movie ultimately ends. It's like, yeah, there was that obligatory titillation scene, and of course there was the ending with the electric violin. That was, of course, respectfully parodied on Family Guy. And it felt like a great climax to everything, just in a sense of like, hey, it's like, hey, the nerds are actually winning here, and of course the jocks ultimately have to kind of say like, yeah, we were jocks, and the nerds says, just because we don't fit into one demographic or whatever, really the only actor who played in all four of them was the guy who played Ogre, real name Frederick something. He's actually stars in I Need Much Money, Call 877 Cash Now. He's like the Viking or something like that. So he's got a pretty good job of just singing. And it's like, at first that they thought like, hey, the title of it doesn't seem so great, but we're a bunch of up and coming actors who are trying to land some roles and everything. So ultimately it did work out for everyone. I guess if there are like some things that people may not like, because this was 1984, so is there, like said, is there like caricatures, like, yeah, there's this gay person named Lamar who's black, and it's, again, this was 1984, 41 years ago, so it's like, you just gotta keep that in mind, that he's in with, I guess, his own people who are, like fitting in the nerd subculture, I guess, and Diddle for Takeshi. I mean, there's even this kid who just went up several grades, and is a part of the whole lambda fraternity. That's what they named it. So it's like, keep that in mind. There's also the voyeurism that, it's like it's there. You gotta have it for the style. And it's like, well, what can you say? It's not really bad. It's just, I guess. I mean, somebody'd say, yeah, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but at the same time, it's like, it's not over the top. It just keep that in mind when you're watching it. View it for what it is, okay? And just, it's like, hey, it's 1984, worthy successor to Animal House, so keep that in mind as you watch Revenge of the Nerds. I'd say this movie is ultimately like a 7 out of 10. You know exactly what you're getting with Revenge of the Nerds.